boy, they've got some dumb ones. So they don't have to think too hard. They just have to make sure that their people understand what they're talking about. That's why free stuff resonates so well with them. That's why hands up, don't shoot mantra resonates. I can't breathe. Because that's all these people can understand and remember. Tactic number 2 brings me to the topic of today. And that is Venezuela. You think socialism can't happen here, folks? And by the way, one of the things that irks me to no end is usually the very same people who tell me in my travels, when they say to me, yes, I wish Trump would quit tweeting, yes, I wish he was more presidential, my next question always is the same. Do you think we're close to socialism? And their answer is always no. That boggles my mind. They really don't think we're even close. And that's why, exactly why, they're not concerned. That's why his tweeting bothers them. That's why they think he's unpresidential. Because they don't think we're in trouble. Folks, we're one election away. Never, ever forget that. Okay, this is also not a question for a free book, but I want to know who in here is brave enough to tell me how old they are.
52.
Okay, I'm going to take this gal right here in the red.
I'm 80.
80! Congratulations. Well, you know what? You might have not been a good choice for me because my next, my next question is going to be this. I want everybody in here to take their age and think 10 years from now.
Okay, but here 10 years from now.
Well, you're right. Now, I've said this question too many times in my speeches, and I get really, really strange whack-a-mole answers from the crowd. But let's say, absolutely, okay, I'm going to take yours. How old are you?
9.
9? Wow, you don't look a day older than 21. Okay, so here we have a great range here, a great generational range, right? I want to give you a little taste of how Venezuela went from being the richest country in the world to the absolute poorest in just 10 years. And this is going to take me to question number 2. And this is good for a free book. Everybody listening?
I want a free book.
In 1998, Venezuela, the people there elected a president that was exactly like our Bernie Sanders. Can anybody tell me what his name was?
Hugo Chavez.
Hugo Chavez. Thank you very much. I'm not going to throw this one at you, but I will set it down for you later.
What?
So Hugo Chavez. So let me tell you a little bit about Hugo Chavez. And this is what drives me crazy too, is that so many people think we're too big to fail, no way, we're not going to become socialists, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you how Hugo Chavez did it. The first thing he did, and we hear Democrats talking about this, folks. They're already talking about this, the Democrat socialists, like our AOCs. Good job. Oh, that was very good. I've got to take you on my tour with me. What was your name again? I know your dad introduced you.
Mason.
Mason. Thank you so much, Mason. So, Hugo Chavez, the first thing he did, he took their Supreme Court. They had 9 justices on their Supreme Court, just like we've got. And they were pretty much split, just like ours is today. And the what he did, he took 11 liberals and threw them on their Supreme Court. We've heard the liberals say that, haven't we?
Yep.
They're talking about that already, folks. That is the first thing that would happen if we lose in November. So after he got 20 people with a majority liberal Supreme Court, the first thing he did, and I know everybody here is going to guess that, what is the first right he took away? This is not for a free book, it's too easy, but what is the first right he took away? Second Amendment. And how did he do it? How many in here have said, oh, you're not taking my guns from my cold, dead fingers? I bet almost everybody in here. I've said it. Let me tell you how it gets done. It's so simple. They will first raid your home with the SWAT team, just like they did to Roger Stone. And your friends aren't going to be around. Nobody's going to be there to come to your rescue. They will arrest you. They will throw you into prison or hard labor camp or whatever they're going to be doing in those days. And then they're going to tell your wife or your kids or your parents, gee, you know what? You want to get him out? Because right now he's facing 20 years, and that was the punishment. 20 years. Unless you give up your guns. I don't care if anybody here raised their hands. I know dang well. You're not going to sit in prison for 20 years just to keep your guns. And that, folks, is exactly how they do it. Yep, we're one election away. That is it. Now, we need to stop complaining about the little stuff. We need to stop complaining about the tweeting, about the personality, about all that stuff. It makes no difference if we fall to socialism, right? Would it make a difference to you, sir? Yes. If you knew for a fact that we were going to be socialists in November, would it matter no matter what he tweeted? Yeah, right? Anybody? I can't imagine anybody saying yes to this. According to Alinsky, I want you all to listen to this. This is one of my favorite statements Saul Alinsky ever made because it really says it all. He said, quote, "The judgment of history leans heavily on the outcome of success or failure. It spells the difference between the traitor and the patriotic hero. There can be no such thing as a successful traitor, for if one succeeds, he becomes the founding father." And that's true. Because if we lose this election, the left will rewrite history. And they will be the founding fathers. And they will look to be the heroes. That, friends, is what this fight is really all about. We cannot let that happen. We have to unite, because that is one of the biggest problems I see out on the road today, the bickering within the party. We have to unite, we have to fight, and we have got to take action. If you're not on the road, if you're not doing something for your local clubs, shame on you. We will thank you. Let's give that a clap. Because Abraham Lincoln said revolutions do not go backwards, and we will not get a do-over. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Cathi, I so appreciate you letting me get the message out. I have one last question. Question number 3 for a free book. Everybody ready?
Mason's ready.
What's the name of my book?
Rules for the world.
I heard it over here mostly. Sir, you're going to get a copy of my book. Thank you guys so much. You can, by the way, stop by my table. I have a table back there with my books. I take every kind of payment you can imagine. I've got it available on paperback, ebook, and also audiobook. Help me spread the message. Get me as a speaker to your club nearest you. And thank you. God bless. Let's get out there and work hard.